So, got a couple of things that I found. Well, not a couple, one thing, my bad, I'm over-exaggerating here. So, I got some of the gasket off, which is what that piece of junk is right there, that green thing, of course. I got my pump out, which is that's the pump. That's something else, ain't it? That's all it is. And this right here is that inside piece that I was trying to get out. Found everything, there we go. So in order to get that out, you have to get this out, and this goes up in there. Now, what you have to do is, you may not be able to see it with this. I'll try to get it to where you can see it. Hang on. Bear with me. Luckily this is aluminum, so it's light, easy for me to tamper with. So, if I can get to where you can see it. Yeah. That opening right here, here's the pump housing, right here. That opening right there has to line up with that slot, if I'm not mistaken. So something goes in there like that. Once I got this out right here, my pump came on out. And I'll be replacing that O-ring right there as well. Although it doesn't look bad. It's still got some height on it in comparison to the surface. Other than that right there, of course. So, but I'm still going to replace it anyway, which will be fun. So we got that out, thankfully. We'll keep all that together. But over here, I'm cleaning everything up real good because my shop is not sealed, unfortunately. So, you know, you got to make do with what you got. So I'm going to set my hydraulic side over to the side for now, somewhere out the way. I'll clean it up here in a little bit. So, the other one came off easy. Hopefully this one does too. Why can't all gaskets be this easy? Ah! I spoke too soon. I tore. Of course, I'm sure if you're a car guy and you're watching this, or you know something about vehicles in general, whenever you're working on resealing something, a surface has to be perfectly clean. Can't have any gasket on there, or at least as little as possible. So, kind of take me a little thingamajig and a little razor blade or something, and gently, oh, there's some pliers, gently scrape it. Which ain't gonna be too bad. The majority of the surface is good and clean. Need to wipe down. So let me get the rest of this gasket off, and I'll be back with y'all in just a second. I got everything cleaned up the best I could. Got the rust and stuff off of there. Everything's nice and smooth. All that looks good. As does that surface right there. All that looks pretty good. Don't see anything crazy. That back up. So now, you need to get the gasket, which should be this one right here. That little guy right there. Like so. Give this thing one more wipe down, of course. Nose itch. Alright, should be it. So, put it back on there. I putting it on the wrong side? Is there another one? Yes, there is. I may have been using the wrong gasket. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, definite size difference. Always help if you use the right gasket. Try this again. There you go. Line them up best you can. Come on now. There it is. I'm bringing it back up just a little bit though. We can maneuver that gasket where it sits perfectly along along the mounting holes. That's the money right there. Cool. Gasket number 1. And then, of course, the one that I tried to put on, it didn't work. Gasket number 2. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do real quick with this little guy, the housing for the hydraulic side, I'm going to clean it up real quick. So I'm going to cut you off just for a second so I can do that. Be right back. Just back just a little bit. There we go. So got all the old gasket off and everything. Got everything all nice and clean and all that good stuff. Got to the pistons. Got them cleaned up the best I could. Went to my IPD or IDP, I think it's IPD kit, and used the O-rings out of that kit, and put on the pistons. Well, they're too small. It turns out sometime in the mid to late 80s, they did a revision on these pistons. These right here is the latest revision. On the latest revision, they made the groove a tad bit deeper and a tad bit wider, if I'm not mistaken. And I think the O-rings that came in that kit, in the IPD kit or whatever, is spec'd to the first piston setup. So I believe that was the reason why I was actually having issues holding pressure. They're too small, and even after I put them on and I laid them flat on my table, I could still see light between the O-ring surface and the table itself. I would roll it a little bit, it will roll for a little bit and then stop because it hit the surface of the O-ring, and etc., etc. Then I remembered that I actually had some O-rings that I ordered from a guy off of eBay. And these O-rings that he provided are 5 thousandths thicker than the O-rings from IPD. So what's happening now is that extra 5 thousandths of material has to have somewhere to go. So whenever you compress something, it expands, which is what's going on here, if my theory is correct. No matter what I do with these O-rings, because it's thicker, it made the inside diameter smaller, outside diameter bigger. No matter what I do, I'll go around just like this right here. Either it's just that tight of a fit, or it actually is pressing up against that inside diameter, and the outside diameter actually has a sealing surface now. It is past it. A little bit. And I've got a rocking motion no matter where I put it. So there's that. Pretty excited about that. So I believe we'll be all right. I'm going to put these in here into the bores. In a little bit, I'm going to snug all this down and whatnot. Go from there. Now that I've got that done, got some good O-rings on here, what I believe to be good. Only way to find out is to throw them in and activate everything once they get everything put back in and whatnot. So there's that. So those are trash. I mean, if I absolutely positively had to, I might be able to run a smaller O-ring underneath that to give it a bigger diameter, but I'm going to run with these right here. These right here seem to be pretty promising. Pretty happy about that. So, anywho, let's get this thing right here back together. I'm hungry. I may have to put these nuts on there to give it some, well, maybe not. A little bit of pressure might be okay. Whenever you put everything back together and you start tightening these things down, you tighten them down and across like a lug nut. You know, it's like X, up, that type of thing. You tighten them in a cross fashion. That's how they want you to do it. And don't forget, you got these plastic things to go up here. And those, that is what those are. You can see it. Right there. That's what those are. So, those two are going to go on last. Because that washer is, it might be the same thickness, maybe a little bit thicker than these lock washers. So there's that. All right, so we got this one and this one, that one and that one, and those two. So let's do that. I got myself kind of confused. Okay, so that one, that one, that one, that one. That's how it's going to go. And here's the bottom. Trying to even it up a little bit. That one's quite a bit closer on this side. Well, maybe not. They look about the same. All right. Probably about as good as those are going to get. I think it'll be fine. Once the oil hits it, ain't going to rust anymore. I'm about to drop the pistons down in there. A little bit of transmission fluid on there. It'll be a tight fit with these new rings. Feels pretty good to me. So now, do the same thing to this one. A little bit of stuff. Just like that. Feel pretty good to me. Hopefully that'll fix them. What I can do, I know it ain't going to feel 100. I know it ain't going to give me 100% resistance because it's lubed. Let's see what kind of resistance I do get when I pull on it. Quite a bit. I can't pull it with that. So now, put the parallels back on there, little bar looking deals. That. Where's the other one at? Ah, right here in front of me. Feels pretty good to me. All right. Alright, so I got my pistons in place. Like I said, I put some automatic transmission fluid on there beforehand, right here. That way it'll slide down easy. I'm about to look up the specification for these right here in terms of torque. And torque them on down. I do have my torque wrench right here with me. So let's see what we got. 8 to 12. I'll do 10 pounds, it's in the middle. All right. I am very nervous about this because I really don't want to break anything off. Know what I mean? Let me see. So set it down. I can get more leverage. Alright, let's try it. Wrong way. Nope, that's the right way. Thought I heard somebody coming. Turn around. Good. That's good. My book said 9 pounds, which is interesting, but that's got a few studs on there. So you look at, I'll call that the overdrive main to rear case. 9 foot-pounds. That's what I call that. Alright, let's see how these bridge nuts look now. I'm scared to tighten them things all the way down. That daggone setup for the studs here is spooky to me anyway. I don't want to break anything. They're still going. God, that scares me. That scares me so much. I'm tempted to just leave it. That terrifies me. 5 pounds. There's 8. Leaving it at that. That terrifies me. God, that scares me. Alright, so now let's see what we got. There's very small orifices, if that's even a word, that goes in between these channels. And I mean very small. I don't really have much to, there's one right here. There's one right there. If you can see that, I don't know if you can. You might be able to, at least an idea. Nope, my fan's in the way. There's a very small orifice up in there. You can probably barely see it. And those very, very small pathways need to stay clean at all times, or else you'll have a blockage and you won't get your pressure like you need to. That's good. I think I've got it. I was taking a look at that. Ain't got much clearance at all. That sets in here like that. Alright, I think I got everything now. I think I can start reassembling this thing.